Hi, welcome. If it is your first time of stopping by or coming across my YouTube channel, you are highly welcome. I appreciate each and every one of you who always tune back to watch my program. May God Almighty bless you. You are free to leave your comment constructively. Like you know, I present to you information across the globe, especially Nigeria to be precise. And today, I present to you another exciting video which we are going to watch together. Now let's watch this video together, then come to my comment section and tell me what you think about the video. You are free to criticize, but constructively, as we watch the video together.
Vice President Yomi Osibanjo is the latest to caution Nigerians calling for secession to have a rethink while delivering his speech virtually at the 12th Colloquium in commemoration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 69th birthday in Kano State. He said, if Nigeria does break up, those seeking to travel to places like Kano State may need a visa. Let's take a quick listen.
For the purveyors of breaking up into small components, into small countries, perhaps they should be reminded that we would not have been able to accept Governor Ganduje's offer to come to Kano at short notice, since we would all have needed visas to come to Kano.
Well, he made a lot of valid points, but you know, a lot of people just took that one piece of information about whether or not we need a visa to travel to Kano State and blew it out of proportion. I'll take a tweet from Assumpto Okonkwo, who wrote, Osibanjo said visa will be needed to Kano if Nigeria breaks. Well, that's for me to decide if I want to travel to Kano or not. Any day I decide I want to travel to Syria or Afghanistan, that's my choice. Besides, under ECOWAS, we won't need a visa. So, no big deal. Tundu, this is the rhetoric we're seeing on social media. But, I mean, Nigeria should never break up. I've always maintained that.
I completely agree with you, but I just cannot believe that anybody is taking the Vice President's comments seriously. That was clearly tongue-in-cheek. That was a moment of humor in his speech. Of course he was joking. He's a professor of law. He knows about the ECOWAS protocol. Yeah. It's like 40 years old. It wasn't just yesterday. He has gotten the memo. And if at all we ever need a visa to Kano, it will be visa on arrival. I mean, since we're all brothers and sisters in some way, of course he was joking. And what you do about nothing.
I know. Dr. Basi.
Well, I think that, you know, what the Vice President was talking about was consistent with the theme of that colloquium in honor of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And you see that one speaker after another, the President, the Vice President, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself and others talked about the need to keep Nigeria united. And that's the kind of statement that leaders should make. It's just typical, you know, statesmanship to say, look, it's better to keep Nigeria together. I do not imagine that any political leader that is in office will go to an event and go there and say Nigeria should break up under his or her watch. And as Vice President of Nigeria, he was stressing the point that, look, we are all better together than to separate. Now, the Bola Ahmed Tinubu colloquium had been held in other parts of the country, specifically Lagos and Abuja. And now, for the first time, it's been taken to Kano. And the Vice President was saying more or less that, look, Governor Ganduje could, you know, extend the invitation that people should come to Kano to honor the national leader of the APC, simply because we're together. If we're no longer together, Kano will probably be in another country. You will need to go through border protocols. You will at least, even if it is under the ECOWAS protocol, which it will be, you will at least present a passport, you know, to be allowed across the border. So it's just a way of responding to a secession. All these talks about secession. And I was talking about a new tribe, well, I don't like that word tribe, it's colonial, but a new community of, you know, Nigerians who operate more as professionals, as people who are committed to achievement and excellence. And he talked about justice, he talked about integration. But the point I made earlier is that, look, it's not enough for political leaders to just say, oh, Nigeria is indivisible, is indissoluble, the sovereignty of Nigeria is sacrosanct. They must, in their conduct, in what they do, in their contributions, ensure that that enabling environment is provided for the average Nigerian to be proud. In the same manner, you see an American and he will tell you, I'm an American. Now, we have reached a point now when Many Nigerians are not proud to say that they are Nigerians.
That's the rhetoric.
You see some of them, they say, no, I live in Canada. I'm a Canadian, Nigeria.
Oh,
they will mention Canada first.
Oh, dear.
Or they will say, no, I'm a British here in Nigeria. But many other people in other parts of the world, when you meet them, they will tell you, I'm a Malaysian, I'm Indian, I'm this, because they are proud of their own identity.
The conversation is a lot of people
a nation does not exist just because leaders make rhetorical statements. A nation exists, the people have a sense of identification and identity and belonging and ownership because they have had leaders who have been able to, emphasize those things that bind the people together rather than those things that divide them.
I'm going to take you on that,
talk
Dr.
about
Bati. Let me
Nigeria
just
is
say this
indissoluble
real quick.
if you are giving jollof rice to terrorists and bandits.
On that note, I'll tell you what President Muhammadu Buhari said.
Okay.
In the meantime, President Buhari has also reacted to those calling for secession. He says Nigeria are stronger together than apart and has appealed to everyone to play their part in building a greater Nigeria. Let's take a listen.
Despite occasional inter-ethnic tensions in our national history, it seems to me that we have all agreed on one point, that notwithstanding our diversity of ethnicity, culture, language, and religion, Nigerians are better together, even stronger together.
Rufai, Nigerians are better together, stronger together. Our leader has spoken.
But we need to have more conversations, like I keep insisting. And those conversations are germane to the furtherance of our country and how our country will work for all. Those are the conversations we should have. Dr. Bati was talking about why Americans are so proud of America. Because they know America will always be there for them. Just like what happened. COVID came, economic downturn. The first thing Joe Biden did do when he got into power was to ensure that the stimulus package of 1.9 trillion was passed. Trump too did the same. Despite the fact that Trump had his own shenanigan, the welfare of the American people came first to him. It is the way Americans have resolved to live. And it didn't start now. Look at when they had the recession back in the days. See what Roosevelt did with a New Deal. Brought about a massive spending to increase the economic viability of Americans and help the people in that country. Why they are proud of their country is because they know their country will stand for them. I remember I was in America the other day. A neighbor close to me put up an American flag in front of his house. Came out and said, God bless America. He sees American soldiers. He salutes them because he knows his country will stand for him. So it's not just word of mouth to say people should be patriotic. Nigeria should start standing for its people. Once Nigeria stands for its people and the leadership does what is right to help Nigeria stand for its people, be there for its people, then they start to respect and honor and love their country. Look at what happened. We've had bandits take over our children 2 weeks from the forestry school in Kaduna. We've not brought them out. The governor says not negotiating. See what happened. An American on the border at Niger just had some goats and he had some orange trees and he stayed in a hut. He was attacked by this same bandit. The American brought the full might of the American Marine and they went in there and they quashed the bandits. And guess what? During the campaign, Donald Trump said, we brought our man back home.
Right.
And guess what Americans did? They roar. Nigerians want to honor their country. But the government should do its part. And when they do their part, we will celebrate them. We'll get excited. We'll get excited. And that's the kind of country we want. We want a country where the people know that the government fights for them.
We keep talking about our country, and this is the problem for me. We run our country down. It gets on my nerves, quite frankly. There are issues everywhere in the world. And the point of Nigeria is that we are a work in progress, and we will get there. It's just that the leadership does need to lead. Now, my point about the vice president and that moment of levity in his speech is separate from what President Buhari said. He keeps repeating how we're stronger together, better together. I do agree, but there's some things that must be addressed. There's a sense of inequality, which also exists in America. If not, we will not be having the trial of Derek Chauvin, who knelt on somebody's neck for 9 minutes. Horrendous. So there's some people who are more American than others. Same as here in Nigeria, the perception exists that there's some people who are more Nigerian than others. I'm paraphrasing George Orwell, I'm sure you know that. So it exists in every country. We just need to stop running our country down constantly. Don't we get tired?
Good point, Tundu.
Well, I think that, on this, I would like to recommend an essay, a famous essay written many years ago by Professor Wole Soyinka, titled, "When is a Nation?"
All right.
When can a people, confidently say, oh, I belong to this nation? We're a people under one identity and living together. Until we get to that point, when we can answer many of the questions raised in that timeless piece by Professor Wole Soyinka.
Deep in the shadows, I know. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time or first day of coming across my YouTube channel or seeing my face, you are highly welcome. Please comments to my channel. My name is Linda Chukwuezi. It's coming